speaking with Jan Lückhof from DHL. Jan is an advisory board member for the Sustainable Aviation Futures Europe Congress, which is taking place in Amsterdam this May from the 21st to the 23rd. We'll just talk a little bit about some of the panels that Jan's participating in and also some of the other information about the conference too. So Jan, thanks a lot for joining us today. I'd just like to start by asking if you could share a brief background about yourself, but also the activities that you're responsible for in your role within DHL.
Sure, thanks, Jamie. Hello, everyone. My name is Jan Lückhof. I work for DHL Group in corporate development. I actually have a background in aeronautical engineering and science. Joined the DHL Group roughly 2 years ago. And I'm now part of a team called Clean Operations Office. And as the name already suggests, we are essentially responsible for setting the decarbonization targets for the whole group globally, which includes not only the target setting and managing our science-based target contributions, but also includes a decarbonization roadmap that we have invented and monitored continuously. And it, of course, also includes helping our business units who actually do the business in achieving those goals. So my particular role in that team is taking care of sustainable aviation. And this is currently mainly focused on sustainable aviation fuels, SAF. And I am responsible for, especially for the long-term strategic SAF planning and SAF sourcing.
That's brilliant. Thanks so much for that quick introduction. And in terms of the steps that DHL are taking as an airline, what are some of those steps that they're taking to meet your stated objective of SAF blending of 30% for your air transport operations by 2030?
Yeah, well, that goal is, of course, ambitious, and we know that, and we are also proud of that ambitious goal. And we are currently actively trying to reach that step by step. We are currently one of the largest SAF users in the world. Just last year, we have used 72 kilotons of SAF, and that is a share of roughly 3.7% of our own Scope 1 emissions. So we feel like we are one of the leading players in that field, and of course, we are on the one side proud of that, but on the other side, we know that there's still a lot to do, a lot to work on. And we, of course, do have long-term agreements, which we have also published with quite a few companies already. But we are currently in the process of not only procuring SAF for the short term, but also working towards SAF agreements that are long-term, that will also enable the buildup of new facilities and that will support us to reach our goal in 2030.
Yes, some really exciting and ambitious targets there, I think, and certainly, I mean, I see DHL as really sort of blazing a trail, as it were, with regards to some of those SAF figures. So it's really great to see. And I mean, look, you touched upon, the need for scaling up. One of the panel discussions at Sustainable Aviation Futures that you'll be participating in will focus on scaling SAF, and the other will focus on the non-CO2 aspects of SAF. In your opinion, I mean, what's the key takeaway from each of these sessions that you would expect the audience to sort of take away during the conference itself?
Yeah. So scaling SAF is something that we simply need to succeed in, not only we as a company, but we as an industry, and quite frankly, we as humanity need to succeed at that. It's just something that we need to decarbonize aviation. There's no alternative that is available right now, especially for those heavy duty and long haul flights. We need SAF, and we need to scale it up quite quickly, to be honest. And that is something that I would also like to emphasize in that panel, that there's a huge growing demand for SAF, and that we all need to work together to actually achieve that. Not only the producers and not only the airlines, but also, for example, customers should actually signal demand for carbon neutral deliveries and transport. So that's the one side of the story. And then the second panel that I will be participating in is something that is also very, very close to my heart, which is not on decarbonizing, not a focus on the carbon part, but it's on the non-CO2, so the non-carbon emissions of aviation, which is an issue that is probably not quite well known to the general public, but which is very important. It actually is responsible for roughly 2/3 of the total climate impact of aviation itself. So that is something that we really take a close look at. It's something that needs a lot more research, but it's going to be implemented at least in the monitoring part of the European emission trading system as of next year. So it's a very immediate action that needs to take place. All the airlines and all the major players in that field are currently working towards making that possible to at least measure the impact reliably. And then, of course, in a second step, we need to find ways to mitigate that impact. And that is something that needs quite a lot of groundbreaking work, and that's something that we need to discuss in that panel as well.
Yeah, I would tend to wholeheartedly agree with you with regards to non-CO2. At last year's conference, we saw that it was one singular afternoon panel. This year, we have an entire stream and also a keynote panel discussion focusing on the subject. So it really is increasing in importance, and very excited to hear the outcomes of both the discussions that you're joining in Amsterdam this May. Jan, thank you so much for your time today.
You're welcome.